Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Irene and I hope you're all doing well. So a while ago I talked to you about my sewing project in which I will be sewing some of the outfits from the Netflix show Queen's Gambit, and I made a video talking to you a little bit about the project and showing you some of the sewing patterns that I collected, most of which were vintage. I'll put a card up here if you want to see that video. And in this one I would like to show you some of the fabrics that I've collected that I'll be using for this project. This isn't the full list of the full number of the fabrics that I'll be using until the end of this whole project, but it's just what I've collected so far and I hope you enjoy. So every fabric that I mentioned in this video will be linked down below in the description box if it's still available, and the sewing patterns are already linked in the description box of the Queen's Gambit project sewing pattern video that I made. So I want to start by showing you guys the fabrics that I've already turned into a garment, or I'm in the process of sewing them up. So the first one is this gorgeous mustard color stretchy fabric that I turned into a turtleneck in order to recreate the outfit from the show that I will put a picture of on the screen. So this is the back where there is a little stitch here, and I've made this one on my serger and it was very easy and quick. In the last video I also linked the sewing pattern that I used. It was a PDF sewing pattern and I made I guess 3 or 4 of these already with the same sewing pattern, and I really love the fit. I go up one size when I sew this, and this fabric is absolutely gorgeous. I've already worn it so many times. It did not lose its color. It's very comfortable and good quality. So I really like it, and I'm so excited to finish the whole outfit so that I can make a lookbook. So next is this lovely top that I really adore, and especially the fabric, I really love it. And so this one is actually a fabric that I accidentally found. It's a Liberty Tanalon that I couldn't find on their website, but I found it in a shop. I guess that must have been left over from a past collection or something. And actually this fabric was designed like in the 1800s or something by a famous textile designer lady. I don't remember her name anymore, but I will write it on the screen. And I made this using this sewing pattern, which is Butterick 7682, and I used it VUC. I thought it was so pretty and really elegant, so I thought that this fabric would go really well with it. Although I have to say that I don't really like the I don't think that the Liberty fabric was the perfect choice for this blouse, since it doesn't have so much drape, but still looks really great. Just when I tuck it in, I get a lot of creases in the waistline, but in the back it has a lovely bow and a beautiful open back, and I just really love this one, and I wore it for Christmas. So this blouse isn't really meant to replicate any of the outfits in the show. It just reminded me of the whole cut of the blouses she would wear, and I thought that I could maybe put my own twist and use this fabric and imagine something that she could have worn in the show. Even though she didn't really wear florals, I think that this fabric would really suit the hair color. So the next one is another Tanalon by Liberty. It's their plain Tanalon in the color Off-White, and I'm in the process of sewing a shirt using that, and I really love how it's turning out. I think it's really delicate, and this fabric was just the perfect choice for this shirt. It turned out really well. It's not finished. I still have to put the facings for the sleeves, and I will be making covered buttons with the same fabric and the buttonholes, and I think it's gonna be so delicate. And if it's finished, I will put a b-roll of it on the screen, the finished version. If not, I will put non-finished version. And in order to make this, I actually used a sewing pattern that I didn't mention in the previous video about the sewing patterns, so I'll be talking to you about that. I am using the copy of Butterick 7329 and the Weave C. I bought this from a vintage sewing pattern reproduction company called vintagepatternshop.com, I believe. I will link it down below. And I really love the fit and everything about this shirt. I think it's just so pretty and dainty. It's from the 1950s, so it's just very, very feminine and beautiful. I can't wait to wear it. So next is this beautiful yellowy beige cotton fabric that I'm gonna be using for the coat, and it's actually a pink coat what she's wearing, but yellow and beige, they are more my colors, so I chose this one. It was that stock from prettymercery.com. I will link it down below, and I actually already started making this coat a few months ago, like Christmas I think it was, and the thing is, it was fun to make until I realized that the way I cut the sleeves was wrong because it just wasn't matching up, and I just took a break from it and I never got back to it again because I'm just too lazy to cut the sleeves again. But I will be finishing, I still have time since it's just gonna be summer now. I don't need the coat yet. But I'm so excited to see that one. This is actually a really rare fabric for me because it's vegan friendly and it's, I think, warm enough to be a coat, at least where I live. So I'm happy about that. And I also found a lining for the inside of that one. So this is a Cupro lining from Asahi Kasei or something, I think it was called. And it's a very famous Japanese Cupro brand, and this is very, very nice quality. It's sanded Bamberg, it's called, and it just feels really nice to the touch. You can tell that it's high quality and well made from just touching it. It's not very transparent, which is nice, so that it's gonna be able to hide really well all the stitches on the inside. And it's gonna also feel really nice on the skin. It's just white, and I think it's gonna match really well. And I also found this lovely Cupro Bamberg fabric from Asahi Kasei. I think I'm butchering up the name, but I will write it on the screen. It's a really famous Japanese Cupro, and it's really, really well made. I think it matches perfectly, and I think it will be super pretty and comfortable inside this coat, so I'm really excited. And I'm also a little bit scared because it's the first time I'm gonna be sewing with this kind of fabric. I don't think it's very slippery, but it's really, really thin and it's sort of silky, so we'll see how that goes. I actually purchased a walking foot for my sewing machine in order to be able to sew it as well as I possibly can. We'll see that. So next is two Tanalons again that are going to create one outfit. One of them is going to be the top and the other is going to be the shorts. So let's start with the shorts. This is the beautiful, I believe it was called ochre or mustard. I will write it on the screen and link it down below as well. Plain Tanalon, and I really, really love this color. I think it's just perfect, and what's even more perfect is that I found a perfectly matching top in a beautiful, beautiful 60s inspired, I believe, design. So it has a pattern that is very geometrical, and I will be sewing with this a top which is going to have sort of a middle stitching, and the lines here, they're gonna go sort of toward the middle and create a symmetrical butterfly effect, if you see what I mean. I think it has a name actually. If I remember what it's called, I will write it on the screen. And I'm just so excited because these were made to be together. I think they're a perfect couple, and I'm gonna be sewing them with these sewing patterns. The shorts will be made using this, I believe this is a Vogue 3640. I'm not sure that it's Vogue, but I know that it's 3640, and it's a reproduction that I got from Lady Marlowe Patterns on Instagram, and I already made a mock-up for this and it looks super pretty, and I'm so excited to make it out of this real fabric. And I will also be making the top using a PDF sewing pattern I was actually going to use another pattern from Lady Marlowe, a reproduction vintage pattern again, and I tried everything to make it fit, but it just was not going to work. So I found this new pattern that I'm gonna be using for the top, and hopefully it's gonna work, but I haven't made the mock-up yet. So next is another Tenalon. This is the plain white Tenalon. The other one was off-white. This is plain white. It's like really, really white. I love using this kind of Tenalon fabrics for shirts because I don't use silk and I don't like bad quality cotton on a white shirt, because I mean that's all it has. It has to have a good fabric because it's a white shirt. That has to be a good fabric. And I think I'm just gonna make, I don't know exactly which shirt I'm gonna make with this. In fact, even the shirt of before isn't an exact replicate of anything she wore on the show, but I'm gonna be layering it under the pinafore and, you know, in certain outfits that I wanna recreate. I decided not to stick with exactly the same shapes and designs and just make what I want. It doesn't really matter since it's just a basic shirt that's gonna go with everything. And so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with it, and I will put the picture of the sewing pattern that I think I will be using on the screen. So the next fabric that I'll be showing you guys is going to be turned into a jacket. Using the sewing pattern Simplicity 3444 VU2, this one. I don't remember whether or not I've shown you guys in the last video this one, because I actually was going to use another sewing pattern which I ended up not using because it had weird elements that just weren't fitting well and stuff. So I found this one that I really love, and I think it's strikingly similar to the outfit that I'm trying to recreate here, using this black jacket and the mustard turtleneck that I've shown in the beginning of the video. I will put a picture of that outfit on the screen. So the fabric that I'm using is a smooth drape twill by Meet Milk, which is a fabric brand that I absolutely adore. It has very, very high quality organic fabrics that you can be sure is gonna be amazing quality. I buy from them every time I want to make something that I will really care about. And it's just black, very drapey black twill fabric in cotton. No stretch, nothing. It's really, really nice. Like, you can feel that it's good quality when you touch it. And I also bought a lining for that jacket, which is again a Japanese Bamber Cupro. It's called Sanded Black. It feels really velvety and smooth and nice, and it's gonna be so comfortable on the skin when worn. I'm so excited about that. So the next garment is the one that I'm the most excited to sew within this entire sewing project about Queen's Gambit, and I'm gonna be replicating this beautiful, gorgeous red raincoat that she's wearing using a vintage pattern, and mine is going to be short, and I'm using Butterick 7260, which is a very rare sewing pattern, and I'll be using the view B. Look at just how cute that jacket is. I think it's just the most beautiful jacket ever, and I want to make it using a fabric that has a gorgeous color, and it's very, very similar to the color of the thing she's wearing. This is the Mind the Maker Sienna cotton twill. It's very, very heavyweight, and it's like almost denim-y. It's just super high quality. It's again one of those brands that you go to if you want to make something that you will love and want to wear a long time. And I'm super excited to sew this. And I also have another Cupro lining for that in the color, it's like a sort of a reddish color. I will write the name on the screen, what it's called from the brand. It's again a Japanese Cupro, and it's quite much more transparent than the other ones, but I think it's gonna cover enough so that it's not gonna show the stitches, but when you put your hand under it you can see it a little bit, but I think on top of the fabric it's not gonna do that so much. It's very, very high quality. Again, it feels great to the touch and great on the skin, which is important because it's gonna be the lining of this jacket, and I think they match nicely. They're not exactly the same shade, but I think it's gonna be looking really nice together, and I'm really excited. So next is this beautiful black crepe bias tape that I bought from a French brand called Atelier Brunette, and they make really amazing, really high quality fabrics. Primarily they make crepe, and I really love that they make crepe bias tape, which is not very common, I believe. And I will be making with this the black and white blouse that Beth wore, using a true white or slightly off-white crepe, again from the same brand that I haven't bought yet, but I will be buying it soon. And I will be doing that with the Butterick 2396 vintage sewing pattern that is super similar to the blouse she wore. And I think I will just either top stitch or somehow attach the bias tape all over the front, the bottom, the sleeves and the neckline. And it's just gonna be a drapey, nice, beautiful and easy, hopefully 60s inspired blouse. I will be actually mixing the A and the C neckline with the A short sleeve, because she wore a neckline that is sort of a boat neck with short sleeves like that, and that's gonna be the perfect combination to recreate what she wore. So we'll see how that goes. So this is all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember that everything is linked down below, and remember also that this is a year-long project, so I'm gonna be updating you guys once in a while as I have enough progress that is gonna be long enough to explain for a video. And so it's gonna be a long, slow process of creating these beautiful garments, and hopefully it's gonna be beautiful in the end, and I'll in the end film a Queen's Gambit inspired lookbook. I can already imagine it. I'm so excited. I hope that you are too, and thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Bye!